welcome to another episode of What to Watch with Antony. We are 8 episodes in, and every week Antony brings us 5 choices of movies to watch, suggestions, things that are bunched into a theme, and we hope you're enjoying them. And so this week, what is your topic this week?
This week is all the films are female-directed movies.
Ooh, interesting. And they're becoming more and more prominent in the film industry. There's been a real push for female-driven stories and for women being at the helm in telling those stories, which I think is shedding a very interesting light on storytelling in general. So I look forward to your list, Antony. I know there's far more than 5, but which 5 did you put on your list, starting with number 1?
My first pick is from director Gorinda Chadha, who you may know is directing the film Bend It Like Beckham. Her most recent work is the movie I'm picking, though, 2019's Blinded by the Light.
My poems, they're not brilliant, but they're mine.
Do you think that this man sings for people like us?
But he talks to me. You cannot be serious, mate.
My dream was to come here and work hard for my family.
If you don't try to fix this, we will lose our son for good.
This guy is incredible. You've never heard lyrics like his. Is that Billy Joel?
Billy Joel? You try and raise your kids right, Jane.
Bruce sings about not letting the hardness of the world stop you from letting the best of you slip away. My hope is to build a bridge to my ambitions, but not a wall between my family and me.
Purpose of your visit?
I'm going to see Bruce Springsteen's hometown.
I can't think of a better reason to visit the United States than to see the home of the boss.
This is a really, really sweet and beautiful film about a young Pakistani boy growing up in England who discovers the music of Bruce Springsteen. And
I remember this.
This inspires him to be more artistic and to do things in his life that he's been afraid to do in the past, create bonds and friendships with other Bruce Springsteen fans. However, his father does not want him to do this. He thinks that it's, he's not really believing in his culture and his family's values by listening to the music of Bruce Springsteen. It's a really, really nice film with a lot of great messages. It's a lot of fun, and if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan, this is a definite must-see for you.
Boss!
My second film is from one of my favorite directors of the past 5 years. This is Marielle Heller. She has done a number of very small, quiet films. Her most recent was A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks, where he played Mr. Rogers. That was a very good film. Side note, I am suggesting that as well. But the main film of hers that I am going to pick for today is Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Quite by accident, I find myself in a rather criminal position.
What criminal activity could possibly involve it, except a crime of fashion, of course?
I'm embellishing literary letters by prominent writers.
I love his writing.
Particularly clever, don't you think?
Caustic wit.
This is quite something. These are wonderful.
I thought so too.
Name your price.
You were looking at 1 month's rent.
What are we going to do? Gamble? Shop? Drink?
Ms. Israel, I have a couple of questions regarding the last letter I purchased.
Uh-oh.
What seems to be the problem?
People are on alert. Your name's been put on a list.
On a list. They're literary treasures. One of a kind. It's my writing.
You're impersonating other people. Nobody's buying Lee Israel letters.
There have been some forgeries going around.
Do you think it's real?
Looks that way.
Good.
You're stealing from me?
Come on.
Get out of my house! This is supposed to be something more than this.
We're probably looking at some time behind bars.
What? I can't say that I regret any of my actions.
In many ways, this has been the best time of my life.
This is a Melissa McCarthy movie where she really gets to show off her acting skills. This is nothing like the films that made her famous, like Bridesmaids or The Heat. This is a very small film about Lee Israel, an author who's kind of hit a rut in her life and decides to start forging letters from celebrities to make a living. And it's a really interesting story to see how she pulled this off. But the biggest asset to this film is the cast and their relationship to Heller. Heller directs this film very, very meticulously and really captures every aspect of this story really well. And the cast, which comprised of Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant as one of her friends.
Did he win?
He was, but they were both nominated for their roles at the in the film at the Academy Awards, and they were so well deserving. Such wonderful performances. If you haven't seen this film, this is a really, really small, quiet, wonderful film.
Interesting story about writers and desperation and that kind of quiet, insular life that writers have. It's a true story as well. It took place in New York City's Greenwich Village. It's very surprising. I mean, time flies by while you're watching this movie.
My third pick is from director Nikki Caro, who is going to be later this year, whenever it comes out, directing the new live-action remake of Mulan. So she's an up-and-coming, very popular female director. This is the film that got her that film, The Zookeeper's Wife.
What a terrible time you must have had. German troops come every morning. You can't make a sound. Mama?
Have you been keeping secrets from me?
No one knows how hard it is. You can never tell who your enemies are or who to trust. Maybe that's why I love animals so much. You look in their eyes, and you know exactly what's in their hearts.
What have you been up to in your little zoo?
This stars Jessica Chastain and Daniel Bruhl, and it's a World War II story about this woman who was a zookeeper's wife, and it showcases her struggle to try and keep her life alive at the zoo, also harboring a lot of Jews during the Second World War to try and keep them safe. It's a really intense but also really just sweeping film. Jessica Chastain, as I said, is in this film and she gives a wonderful performance. It was a small film. It came and went in theaters. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. This is a film from 2017, and you'll not be disappointed if you watch it.
No, and actually it was inspired by the book, which I know a lot of our members read. It was a book club discussion book, and I think we might have even had the author at the Arts, Books, and Culture Festival. We certainly highlighted the book during our festival. It's a beautiful story and very interesting. It's very intimate, so that's a great recommendation. So 3, 4, and 4.
My fourth pick is a film from last year, 2019, Lulu Wang's The Farewell.
She's dying. Can you be a little more sensitive?
What do you want from me? To scream and cry like you?
因为你把生命看成是个体的，这正是西方和东方的文化差异问题。东方人是把生命看作是集体的家庭。
I want to believe that is a good thing.
因为生活呀，不光是你去做什么，更是你如何去做。
This was such a surprise when I saw it the first time. This documents the life of this young girl who travels to China to see her grandmother after it is told to her that she has terminal cancer. Now, a custom in China is that they do not tell the person who has cancer that they have it, so that they can enjoy the last couple of months, weeks that they have without being worried about what's going to happen to them. And so what happens is that the whole family reunites for a wedding of one of the main character's cousins, and you really get to see this young woman come back to her life, come back to her childhood, reassess her customs and her families, and really struggle with the lie that they are having to tell someone that she loves and someone that she does not want to say goodbye to. This is based on a true story. Lulu Wang, the director and writer, it is based on her life, and I won't tell you how it ends, but it does have a very surprising ending. This is such a feel-good film that also exhibits some of the great film techniques and storytelling that you'll see with modern cinema.
And also shows the dichotomy between different cultures and how people handle these kinds of issues. So it was really interesting.
And Awkwafina, who plays the main role, she gives a great performance.
Yep, she does.
She became the first Asian woman to win the Golden Globe Best Actress Musical or Comedy Award at the Golden Globes this year. First Asian woman to do so. So this film made history as well. Yeah.
Great. So now we're up to number 5.
Yes, my last pick is probably the most famous of all the films on this list, but I cannot do an episode about female directors without highlighting one of the pioneers of the last couple of years, and that's Greta Gerwig.
Oh, she's amazing.
She was the first woman to be nominated for Best Director after Catherine Bigelow's record-breaking win in 2010 for The Hurt Locker. She was nominated for Lady Bird, but I've already talked about that film before in one of the past episodes, so I'm going to talk about her sophomore effort, that being Little Women.
We can leave right now. I'll sell stories, and you should be an actress, and you should have a life on the stage.
Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it.
It would be a disaster if we
It
married,
wouldn't be a
okay?
disaster.
We'd be miserable.
Joe, I'd be a perfect saint.
I can't.
A new play written by Miss Jo Marsh.
Women, they have minds, and they have souls, as well as just hearts.
I want to be great or nothing.
And they've got ambition, and they've got talent, as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
There are some natures too lofty to bend.
This is a beautiful, beautiful film that took a different perspective on the classic story. It not only took influence from the classic Louisa May Alcott novel, but also embed a lot of the true life of Louisa May Alcott and her experiences writing the book and her experiences with her family, and embeds that into the narrative of Jo, the main character, played wonderfully by Saoirse Ronan, who at the age of 25 got her 4th Academy Award nomination for this film. It is told out of order, which makes it different from the other films. So if you're thinking, oh, I've seen Little Women, I've seen it 3 times already, you haven't seen it this way, I implore you to check it out. This is such a sweeping, lush, truly beautiful film.
Yeah.
It has an all-star cast consisting of Saoirse Ronan,
Timothy
Chalamet from Call Me By Your
Oh
Name.
my God, he's so good. The costumes, I think, is a character in and of itself.
The costumes are very good.
just
Academy
beautiful.
Award-winning costumes. It also stars
Cinematography is
Meryl
beautiful.
Streep,
Oh
Laura
yeah,
Dern,
Meryl Streep.
Bob Odenkirk, who's on Breaking Bad, Emma Watson from Harry Potter, and also newcomer Florence Pugh, who was Oscar nominated for this performance and truly just captures the heart of Amy. For book fans and Little Women fans who've always hated Amy in the past, she completely makes this character her own. So if you have seen Little Women before, if you've read Little Women before, or you haven't, this is definitely a big recommendation, and it really captures, this film captures what female directors can do. They can capture the female experience in a way that as much as men may try and may be successful with, you still don't get everything. This film captures everything.
And you capture everything for us, Antony. I can't thank you enough, and again. This is a great experience for me, and I'm sure, and hopefully for our members as well, for your recommendations. So I thank you. Until next week, What to Watch with Antony. Enjoy.
Bye-bye.